backup at least.
It says it's recording, but I didn't hear it. Usually
Yeah,
it says.
I got the little thing too.
Okay, I'm going to let everybody in.
Yeah,
Okay,
go ahead.
who are we starting with, Robert or Marco on this?
Robert
I'm going
first.
to start by talking.
I'll spotlight you then. That's all I was
Yeah,
getting
and
at
then
right
I'm going to
now.
introduce Marco and open up, and then we'll go back and forth.
Okay, so you're on now.
All right, we'll let everybody in, and then we'll actually do just a real quick test with everybody's ears. How's that?
Okay.
We'll just do an introduction of something, you know.
All right.
And it'll be
Gary,
the
you got
best.
the videos?
Yes, I do. They're all ready to go. So
Okay.
I've got Masterpiece first. You can tell me which one you want, or I've got Ambient Drums, then Revelation, then Dynamic.
Okay.
Oh, I got a cowlick there. I don't know if I like that angle.
Oh, God.
My bad. It's my bad cowlick.
You're back, Allie.
I like
There
the
is
pink
no-
shirt.
At least you got hair.
At least I got here. It's all fake.
Yeah,
At least I got
yeah.
hair.
It's
Don't
dyed.
worry.
It's dyed hair plugs.
don't worry about it because
You-
there's a reflection in the music stand on the back of your head.
Okay, got it.
Oh, my God. You guys are brutal.
Okay, that's it. I'm gonna make you listen to Mary Ann for
Oh,
2 hours
God.
straight.
No, please.
Hello, Robert. This is Beverly. I'm in Rhode Island. I want to congratulate you. Looking
thank
forward
you.
to the afternoon session.
Beverly, where are you, Beverly? Let's see. I got you on my gallery.
White. Wait.
Oh, there you are, Beverly. There you are. Well,
I
I got my gallery view on, so when you guys say something, I have to go in.
know, right. Where are you, right?
And then some people have their name but no faces, but I'll browbeat them until they get them on, and then some can't, and then some just say iPad.
Yeah.
Robert, I need you to make Gino Screen a co-host also. if
Gino
I could-
screen?
Yeah, please
You got
co-host
it. Let
that.
me go down there and find a Gino screen.
It's alphabetical. Is
Am
what
I the only one
figured.
who can make a co-host?
Yeah,
because
because
the
you're
host is only
because
one.
you're the
Okay.
host. Yeah.
Gino's screen it is.
Okie doke.
Replace, make co-host. There we go. Yes, make co-host. There's someone in
There
the
we
waiting
go.
room. Who's in the waiting room?
I'm letting. I
Oh, a
monitor
couple
that.
other
Let them
people.
in.
There we go.
Hello, Robert.
Hi. Who just said hi?
This is Brad from Rhode Island.
Brad, where are you?
Hey,
Let's
Brad,
see.
where are you in Rhode Island?
I'm gonna look for you. I know you're somewhere on the screen there.
Somewhere in there.
You got your video on?
Brad,
Video's on.
Okay, let's
fix
see.
your video, Brad. All you got is your eyes.
Brad, Heidi, Stewart.
Hey,
That's
Mike.
better.
How's that?
I'll find Brad somewhere there. Did you get your Genos yet?
Genos is coming tomorrow. The speakers and the stand just came 5 minutes ago.
All right, well, call me afterwards.
I will.
We got a forewarning on the speaker cord. I always tell everybody.
Okay.
All right, so before we actually get started, we're just going to do a quick little, I'm going to just play an introduction of whatever's on at the moment, and I want you to listen to it, and we'll get multiple ears. Of course, we'll do the best we can. Marco, you nearby? He's gone. Where did Marco go?
Not there.
He got stage fright. Marco always gets nervous when I play with him,
We're so glad
right?
I don't get nervous.
I know you don't get nervous. But you weren't there, so I can say anything I want about you when you're not around. But there you are. Okay, real quick, Marco. So I'm going to, I'm just going to play an introduction of whatever's on, and you guys can be the ears and tell me if our volumes are as close as possible. As close. Here we go. Oh, let me put on sync intro. Let me do this one. Here we go. Okay, that's a long intro. Okay, Marco, you want to play an intro of some sort? Does that sound okay out there for you faces? Let me hear some thumbs up. Sounds
Sure.
okay? All right. All right, Marco, just play a quick chord on anything.
We're good.
Okay, so on your guys' side, does we sound close to the equal volume? Okay, all right. So now we can officially start, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have to worry about changing cameras today?
No.
Oh, this is awesome. This is great.
We're
So
glad.
I may occasionally use my one camera. I don't have 5 fancy cameras like Marco and Gary do. Gary's got a camera probably up in each of your houses right now. I might at one point screen share this one.
Hey, Carol.
I got to make sure it's in the right angle in case I do,
Just got on.
and then I'll officially get started here. Okay,
DJ.
Yeah, bye-bye.
turn your camera. Oh, stop it. Stop it.
X.
Oh, you're making us dizzy.
A.
Okay.
D,
All right, back to me
H.
here.
R.
There's some
X.
background people. That's okay. Just don't tell us your password. Okay. All right. Are we recording still?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Action. Good afternoon. And maybe good evening, depending where you're at. We have a very special, this is going to be a fun event because Marco and I have been rehearsing this for literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of seconds. He sent me over his list and said, here's what I'm playing. Don't play it. No, I'm just kidding. But we have some fun. So as you know, many of you know this already, as of April 4, I've had the honor of taking ownership of Fletcher Music Centers. And I went and did some shows in Florida in person. We had some events. And we thought we'd get online and have some fun with this. And when I went to Florida, Marco came out. We both kind of did some workshops and concerts and what have you. And then about a week ago, was it last week already? He came out to Arizona. We had some fun with that. And we thought, what about those online that normally don't get to go to one of our stores, right? So we thought we'd have a little fun today. And we were talking, and we thought, what should we do? What should we do? What should we show off? And it both hit us. Why we haven't done something in a long time on our marvelous product, the Yamaha Genos 2, so we thought we'd do that. One of the things is taking the ownership of the company. I want to be able to, as we move forward in this new era, I want to be able to offer new and exciting ways to enhance your life, your hobby musically. So we thought, what better way to do it, to kick off an event like this than on the Genos 2. So we're going to kind of go back and forth here, but I think to start off, I asked Marco to start off with something really big and fancy and fun and exciting, all wrapped in one. So we'll kick off the event with Marco Mendez, everybody.
So before I start, we have a little introduction by Yamaha just to introduce the product. A lot of you that already have them and some of you don't. But this was an announcement that was pretty 5 or 6 years in the making, and it's an amazing product. So Gary, go ahead and shoot the next masterpiece. Here we go.
Awesome. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Well, now I'm going to show you how you could sound just as good with just 2 fingers.
Oh, good.
No, I'll do a little bit of both here. You know, one of the amazing things about this product that I've fallen in love with is, and I know many of you are used to this this concept. If you've had an organ in your home, and it's called song setup. Okay, now it's not called song setup on here; it's called playlist, but it's basically the same thing. And the idea of song setup is really, it was revolutionary. It was invented because the idea was that if you select the song title, you're going to get the best type of setup for that song, and you can always, you know, change and go for and try different sounds. On the Genos 2 here, what you're going to notice here is in the screen. Actually, we just put on the playlist button. This is the home screen. When you push it and I go to the playlist, you can see I'm already there because I was browsing through it. There is all sorts of categories of song setups based on the category. And I forget what the number was, but I know it's over 1,300, I think over 1,400 song setups just in these we got 10, 12, 15 so playlists. And the one that I'm going to choose is the R&B, and I want to find a song setup for a song called Night Train. It's kind of bluesy and fun. And so all I do when I activate it, you'll see that it lists all the song titles within that group. So I'm just going to go down to the ends there. I believe it's in this group. Let's see here, Night Train, oh, the arrow down, and there it is, Night Train. And what's cool is it tells you the, the name of the style that it's using. But what's even more clever, I think, is that once you select the song setup from that list, what it does is it programs these presets, also known as registration bank numbers. It programs them. In this case, it has up to 10 presets that it'll program. Here it has 6 lit up, or 7 actually. So that means there's 7 setups just for this one song title. Now, I'm probably going to cheat a little bit because as I play the song, I might get clever and think of something else to play with it, which is great for song setup. So here is just using the setup that it gives me, Night Train, and whatever else comes to mind. Here we go. By the way, those little tricks in there, it looks fancy, but if you have that organ sound on, you just go and then end up on the right note, and you look fancy.
That was great.
Just a little tricks of the trade. You ever see someone go, yeah, all you do is hit a bunch of bad notes and end up on the right note. And then you have to make the face too. Okay, take it away, Marco.
So here's a classic from Mr. Henry Mancini, written 1963. It's called The Pink Panther. Here we go.
Woohoo! That's awesome. Now, one of the things that we did with the when I say we, I'm going to try to take credit for it, but Marco was really instrumental in it, in creating the Genos 2 is a product that's extremely popular right now in the music world. But what makes it even more special is that with the help of Marco Mendez, we created what's called the Fletcher Edition. And the Fletcher Edition has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bonus items on this instrument. So the playlist is one of those, and you're going to see in a little bit some other little goodies here that I'm going to use that was kindly made by Marco Mendez. But going back to the playlist, I'm just going to choose, when I was going through the song setups there and I saw Night Train, I ran across a song that I wanted to play today called My Girl. So I set it up, and I have the six setups here. One of the things that I did earlier when I touched the screen, because a lot of times we want to know what we're going to get before we press it. So when you look here, you'll notice that if I'm playing and I'm kind of looking at the screen, what I'm looking at is what sound am I going to get when I press it. So there's actually what they call an information screen, where when you activate it, it'll actually tell you what sound you're getting before you get it. You'll see here 1 has the intro and 6 has the ending. So these playlists and song setups are absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to do a little bit of My Girl, and using this new setup here. Let me switch cameras back here. And this is just absolutely phenomenal. going back in time to the Temptations. Bye, girl. It's an awesome setup. Right from the song setups. All right, Marco.
All right, so there's something that came out brand new on this keyboard, and it's called Revelation Reverb. And it's a company called Steinberg. And if you were to go buy that system, it's thousands of dollars. So it actually is built into the keyboard. But there's a much better person to explain it than me, and that would be Yamaha itself. So here's an explanation of what Revelation Reverb means. Here we go.
Reverb exists in all environments. We experience it continually every day. It's the result of sound being reflected off surfaces around us, and we use these sound reflections to help us define the space we're in. In Arranger workstations, reverb is everywhere, from the voices and styles to MIDI songs, multipads, and the mic input. They all use reverb, which is why bringing Steinberg's outstanding Revelation Reverb to Genos 2 makes such a big impression on the overall sound. In Arranger workstations, reverb is used to simulate the sound of a room or space. The sound reflections required for these simulations are generated by Revelation at an extremely high resolution, ensuring a jitter-free, silky smooth reverb. Although many reverbs have a mono input, Revelation is full stereo, introducing width to the sound field. Even the panning and location of voices is maintained, allowing them their own space and clarity in the mix. Revelation has a natural sound, making it incredibly versatile and ideal for an Arranger workstation, where the reverb must work across a huge range of instruments, styles, and genres. Whilst you can make your own reverb settings, by simply selecting a style, the reverb will be automatically set to reflect the genre, tempo, and intention of the style arrangement. This setting is not only made for the style, but also the voices, one-touch settings, multipads, and mic input. Genos 2 with Revelation Reverb.
So to demonstrate that feature, I'm going to play Roberta Flag. Killing Me Softly with this song, and I internally went and boosted up all the Revelations reverb settings, so it's going to be really pretty obvious on how awesome it sounds. So here's Killing Me Softly with this song.
Oh, that was gorgeous. Well, we were talking about song setups and presets, but you know what's also phenomenal is if you wanted to, you know, most people, when you sit down at a product, most people pick a song, whether it's this or a songbook, and they do one of two things. They look in the playlist or song setups, or what's the other thing we do? We look for a music style, right? With what kind of rhythm style will work for the song. So if I'm playing Spanish Eyes, I might go to the Latin styles and look at it. But what's absolutely amazing about this is that if you go, and I'm going to just put that screen up here, and you're going to look at, here's the home screen. And it's going to be pretty obvious. If I want to find a music style or rhythm style, as some people call it, to play a song, like I want to play the song, I'm going to do a little medley here of a little bit Beatles medley. Let It Be and Hey Jude. All right, now I already have the rhythm style selected. However, you'll see that big orange button there. It's so extremely easy to use. You just touch it. And what it does is it opens up and it gives you, just like every product in the world, it groups every music style that's in here by category. So if I want Latin styles, I just touch Latin, and you'll see that there's page after page after page. Each one has, in some cases, most cases, 10. If I want to do movies and shows, you got pages, pages. And what was the number originally, Marco? Over 700, and then you added 300 more and something more and more and more and more. How many styles do we have in here?
There's over 1,000 right now.
Over 1,000 music styles in here. So there's never, you should not have a problem finding a style for every one of your favorite songs. The one that I chose was one called 60s Big Hit, which was in the oldies section. And it's just real simple. I just touch that. Now the next step is once you find a style that you want to use, How do I set it up? It's the easiest thing to do. You have on here what's called one-touch setting. So for some of you are familiar with the Lowry product, it's called Rhythm Preset or Auto Setup or Style Setup. And it does just that. When you touch it, it sets it up for me to play the song instantly. So it takes all of the guesswork out of what do I need to use for this. Now I'll play a little bit of Let It Be, and I'll go into a little bit of Hey Jude. This style, when I heard this, I was like, what song should I use for this? And I thought I'll just play them both. So if you like the music of the Beatles, which I love, and it'll be apparent here in a little bit, I'll play a little bit of Let It Be, Love It Be. Hey Jude, Let It Be. Hey Jude, Let It Be, will you? And so we'll just start off with a nice little simple C chord, little introduction, and here we go. Well, I'm having fun. Now, folks, there's something you need to know. When you do those things and you make those faces, somehow it makes it sound better.
It does.
Marco's shaking his head. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Anyway, so here's a really cool thing about all of this stuff is very pertaining to this product. They have a slider. I don't know if you can see me. Make sure you spot me in the area. Yeah. There's sliders here on the left, and one of them is called dynamic control. And it's amazing. And I'm going to have Yamaha explain it to you. You can go down and up, and that gets the microphone closer to the drums or further away. And they use the wall to create, not reverb, to create the natural sound that you would hear if you would be at a concert, for example. So let's Yamaha explain that, Gary. Go ahead, run the video.
Yamaha styles are well known for their quality and are an integral part of arranger workstation performances. Which is why we're excited to introduce the next revolution in styles. Currently, there are hundreds of styles to choose from, each with many style sections. However, the energy and dynamics of these style sections are fixed. Now, for the first time in any arranger workstation and with a simple live controller, you have the freedom to adjust the energy and dynamics of any style, including user styles. We're calling it Style Dynamics Control. So how does it work? Increasing the controller makes the style parts play harder. Decreasing the controller makes the style parts play softer. This not only changes the volume of the style parts, but also their velocity, including those of the drums and percussion. This works on all style sections, including the intros and endings. Have a listen in this example. Style Dynamics Control, a revolution in arranger workstation style.
Is he okay?
Fantastic, awesome. So I'm going to demonstrate. I want to demonstrate that feature by playing. It was an amazing young man in upstate New York at a get-together in the 1960s of rock and roll music. He was a no one, and he went on stage and he changed music as we know it today. And the young man's name was called Carlos Santana. And one of the songs he did during that event was called Black Magic Woman. And I used that feature internally on the reverb as I changed the drummer. So listen to this awesome arrangement of that night or that day for several days in upstate New York. Carlos Santana, 1968. Here we go.
Watch out, Carlos.
Yeah.
Well, I think, you know what? You got me in the mood for Latin music. So one of the, I've had a lot of people that I've met over time that don't have a Genos 2 yet. And the question, the popular question is, what's the Fletcher edition? Well, you're getting to hear some of it. The additional things that, the exclusive extra software and songs and presets that Marco have done. But what Marco has been doing since the pandemic, he very quickly started teaching classes on Zoom and has a following that's really huge. And every week, and if I'm saying it not correctly, jump in. Every week he basically takes a song, he creates a special arrangement for that song, puts fill-ins, extra notes, extra fills, extra chords, introductions, endings. He records the song, and he designs it so that if someone sat down to play that song, and they were just a simple 1 or 2 finger player, they could sound just as good as Marco does. Am I saying that right, Marco? Close to it?
100% accurate.
Okay. So as an example, it was kind of interesting because I was asking Marco, I want to show this off because it's his stuff. If he shows it off and he plays it, I would be skeptical. I'd be like, yeah, it's his stuff, but he's doing it. So the proof is, can I just pull out a song? And here's what I did. So let me pull up the screen here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my home screen here. Oops, wrong camera. You ever push the wrong button on your computer? Or probably nobody does that, just me. Okay, so here's the home screen. Now on the Genos 2, it obviously has thousands of setups that are built in. But right here you have 1 through 10 presets. And right to the left of it, there's 2 buttons. This is registration bank, okay? So Yamaha refers to these presets, and I keep using the word presets because some people are familiar with that terminology. But they're called registrations. And so you may hear Marco from time to time say, I have registrations for these songs. They're basically the same thing. The terminology is just a little bit different. Right next to it says registration bank and a plus and minus, and it says select. And when I push the 2 together, what will happen is the screen, and I'm going to push the 2 together, is going to jump to this. Now it'll show the last thing that I was on. And so I'm going to go and I'm going to touch user. And then what you're going to see here is, you'll see it says famous people. It says holiday music camp, Marco Mendes class presets, which we're going to get to in a second. Playlist for Genos 2. So you have access to the playlist in a couple different areas. Style score guides, all sorts of goodies. Style presets, style score guides, famous people. Those were all created by Marco Mendes. Now, I'd like to go through them all today, but we didn't want to keep you up too late. Otherwise, we'd be here till midnight. But I'm just going to touch and show. So if you touch famous people, you'll see each one of these, Marco has created 10 amazing registrations or setups wrapped around that style of music. So if I touch 101 strings, my 10 presets are going to have 10 different great setups wrapped around 101 strings. Andrew Lloyd Webber, Artie Shaw, etc., etc. Now if I go back and I touch style presets, you'll see it says style presets and with AOC. And what that means is you have all sorts of different presets and setups wrapped around that style of music. So if I'm in the mood to play blues and I don't know what to do, I just select blues, and I've got 10 amazing setups that Marco created that you can use, and then all the setups will work for a variety of songs. You're not restricted to a song specific. And then what you saw there was style presets AOC. That means they all have harmonies associated with them. Now I'm going to go to Marco Mendes class presets. You'll see that there's a lot of titles. I think it's over 208 or something like that. It's 4 years worth of classes that he's been doing. And I was just going through them, and I was having a hard time choosing because they're all great. But I said, you know what? I'm just curious. There was one of them that was called La Bamba, and I play that song a lot. Did I pass it? H-I-J. I got to know my alphabet first. H-I-J-K-L. There it is. La Bamba. And what happens is when you select it, now this is really cool, because the minute I touch La Bamba, unlike many other products, the minute I touch La Bamba, okay, instantly the presets here are programmed with the setups for that song, okay? Now, I don't have it up on the computer there, but to accompany those, you'll see it here. I don't know if you could see that. I put it on my iPad.
Yeah, you can see good.
Okay, so you'll see here, it has, and he kind of tells you where to put the presets. 1, custom intro. I'm trying to do this backwards, and then I touch my screen there. 2 and 3, and it tells you where to change the presets. But Marco is very clever when he designed these. Some people like to use exactly how he created the arrangement, and some people like me want to just push a button and see what happens. Because to me, that's really a proof. Well, it still worked great. And so I'm going to just do it. This is live. This is happening in the moment. So Marco, these better be good.
They are.
But I did try out the intro, and I thought, this is different than the way I normally play it. And I just fell in love with this, because as I was playing, I thought, oh, I can do that song, I could do that song, I could do that song, I could do that. And that was just off of one song title. So you're going to love what he put together here. I think you're going to love it. I know the first one sounds good, so I haven't tried the others yet. So here we are. Let's see, just push preset 1, right? And then just pick any intro.
Yeah.
Intro 2, 1, 3, doesn't matter. I'll just pick one. How about intro 2? Here we go.
You're too much with that Marianne.
That's a great style that you chose for that, too, because I was thinking, boy, I could do Miami Beach Rumba, the Besame Mucho. I thought I could do Santana songs with it. It was great, great, great. Woo! So easy to use.
So I wanted to tell you that on this product, like everybody else, but Yamaha always wins because they have hundreds of them. They have real styles. So let's say that I wanted to play this song Piano Man from Billy Joe. There's a very particular intro that he does that is very difficult with the piano. And if you don't know how to play, you'll never learn it. I'm just being honest with you. Take it from a teacher. And then there's the intro is very specific. The bass line goes down as he plays the song. It's got the harmonica, which is hanging from on his neck with the apparatus that he puts the harmonica in it. So when I play this, it'll sound like Billy Joe is sitting right inside playing along with you. So here's the song called Piano Man. Listen to the intro.
Wow.
Crazy. Wow.
He was clapping,
awesome.
but he was trying to play the harmonicas, what he was
Yeah.
doing. It looked like you were clapping, but he was
Yeah, the
he was
harmonica.
clapping and playing the harmonica at the same time.
Exactly.
That was amazing. Those
Isn't that
fills and
good?
things, it's all built into that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Now, I told you earlier I kind of want to highlight a lot of Beatles music today, but this next song's really a Beatles member, but I believe he wrote this song post Beatles, and the name is John Lennon, and he had an amazing hit song, well, a lot of them. One of them that most people are associated with is Imagine. Now, if you noticed on the screen there, when I had this, let me make sure I choose the right one. Okay, so when I push the registrations again, if I go back to this screen here, you'll notice that there's a few extra little folders in here. One says Holiday Music Camp, one says Robert. So what I started to do, obviously, over time as I'm putting stuff together, I'm saving it in here. I kind of I had a little fun here. There's Genos too. You'll see I have some songs, some setups. But I did the song Imagine. If I just touch it, and I got this idea, I taught it in one of my Song of the Month classes, and I got this idea from the opening ceremonies during the Olympics when the gal that was singing was out in the water playing this beautiful, eerie, but yet beautiful version of Imagine. And so I wanted to kind of get some of that into the instrument. And the second part to this is I wanted to do it so you didn't have to play a lot of fancy fingering to play the song. And so here, I'm just going to use my easy play, simple, easy play music, just like everyone else. And I want to get to the next preset, just going to touch it and listen to this absolutely gorgeous, this style. The style that's being used on this is called piano ballad. Listen. gorgeous? Amazing.
Nice.
Those choirs in there.
Yeah, that's good.
Those choirs. Marco showed me those choirs one day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was called Boys Choir, and they sounded just like they were here singing. It was absolutely amazing. The beauty of it is the reason why I'm showing all these setups, because a lot of products have a lot of presets in them. Obviously, this one has lots and lots and lots. But it's only good if it's easy to access and get. And every time as we create new setups, Marco's always creating new arrangements and songs, setups for all these wonderful songs. The trick is it's got to be easy for you to be able to get and load. And all you do is push the 2 buttons, select it, and press touch, and boom, it lights it all up instantly. So just phenomenal stuff. So anyway.
That's great. Well, I want to do one more, Robert, before we have a little talk here. This is a guy that I met several
Now, this
years
is not
ago.
your finale, right?
No, not yet.
Okay,
Should
because
I?
you got a finale.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I met him probably 5-6 years ago, and there's a show here in California that's been well known in the industry called the NAMM Show, National Association of Music Merchants, and I've been going for years. The pandemic was a disaster, but prior to that, I used to go every year as a dealer, as a musician, and I actually got to meet and talk with Stevie Wonder. And I was able to ask him a bunch of questions, and one was a song that he wrote that is absolutely a magnificent bass thing. And I said, how did you do that? I said, it just comes to my head, and I can't see, as he starts to laugh, and it's so funny. He's really a good guy. And he played it for me, and I was able to do some stuff, and there's a style here that I want to use, and it was written in the 70s. It's 1972 by Mr. Stevie Wonder, and it's called Superstition. And if you don't have this style, you can't play the song, because this is part of how he wrote the song. And you don't have to know how to play the bass. You don't have to, nothing. The melody is super simple. It's a superstition, and it's over and over again. But the background is what makes it amazing. So here's Stevie Wonder, Superstition. Here we go.
That's awesome.
Not good. Yeah.
Yeah, you know why I love that so much? You're
This is-
typical musician, Marco.
What's
Because I'm the
that?
same way. Because I asked Marco, I said, send me all the songs you're going to play so I don't try to pick one and I have to switch in the moment. And I looked at his list, and that's not on his list. Now let
That
me
was this
show you.
morning.
Now let me show you my list. Here's my big list, and I marked the ones that I was going to probably play. And if you zoom a little closer, you'll see it says Superstitious.
Oh my God! I'm glad you didn't pick.
So
that.
guess what I'm going to do? Not play it.
Superstition.
Something was very superstitious about you.
Oh my goodness, that's like weird.
It's a fun song and it's
It
a fun
is.
style, and I was kind of tempted to do it. I'm glad you did it because it's in a key that it plays what is it, B? It has a B chord in there or something, B minor.
Yeah.
I don't normally play that one, so I was kind of nervous about doing it. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a couple short little songs just because I want to highlight a couple things. And then I got just a quick little message, and then we'll have Marco close off with a finale. And if it's what I think it's going to be, it's going to be awesome. So when I had the screen up, you'll notice that I had here a couple things here. Let's see. On the screen there, you'll see it says Holiday Music Camp. This is what we did back in 2024. And I just grouped them together. Each one has, each group has 9 or 10 presets. And what they were setups that I took based on the staff, the setups that they did when they taught the class. But I'm going to put the group one. And I had a question earlier. Someone in the chat said, how do you get the preset info? So I'm going to leave that screen right there. You see in the top right corner, it says menu. So if I touch menu, it says registration bank info. When I activate it, it pulls the screen and it tells me everything that's currently programmed in the presets. So you'll see in here it has Angels, We Have Heard It High, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm going to go down to number 8 and 10. Actually, I'll go to number 10. They're both the same. There were setups that I did for Silent Night. Now, the reason why I want to show you this, I know it's not the holidays yet, but this is a gorgeous style, period. And I'll play a little bit of Silent Night so you could hear it, but I'm going to switch to a totally different song that might be expected, may not. And so I'll just put on that preset. And when you hear this style, it's called Guitar Serenade. And it's just such a beautiful, being a guitar player first, many of you know that was my first instrument. Well, technically piano was my first instrument. I started on the piano when I was 15, and I played that for a long time. I stopped playing the piano when I was 15, and I started at 15, so it was a long time for me. And then I took up the guitar, and I fell in love with it. So when I hear these beautiful guitar styles, they're absolutely gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is start off with a little bit of Silent Night, but I want to show you how you can use this style for so many wonderful things. But listen to just the introduction in itself. And the sounds are so authentic, and the guitar bends the notes and there's that chord I told you guys the other day that I got from Marco. Notice how it slides. Now I'm going to switch gears. Totally different style of music. Marty. It's a beautiful style. You could play so many wonderful things. And one more short one. This is for you, Marco. I actually came up with the setup in the middle of the class, one of the Genos classes we taught, and the students actually helped me. Because what we were doing is we were teaching everyone in that particular, this was a while back, how to save setups. Because if you wanted to save them, saving setups on here is so easy. So if you find a sound you like, pay very close attention. You push this memory button, and you pick the number you want to save it on, and that's it. There. I don't know how I did that class. It took me an hour to teach the entire class. Somehow I talk a little bit. Some people say I talk a lot. But what we did is I was teaching students how to save setups on this because they wanted to create their own. And it was like memory. And we went into renaming. And what we came up with was something really fun. We actually came up with a nice little setup for Phantom of the Opera. The students were saying, I like that rhythm and that, and I like that sound. And this is what we got. And we're dedicating this to you, Marco. You're the Yamaha Genos 2 students created this arrangement for you.
Awesome. I
Okay?
can't wait.
So you can't say it sounds bad, all right?
Okay, all right.
But we took what was in there, so it's got to sound good. Here we go. Oh, wait, we'll put on the preset. Intros already. You got to make that thing. I don't think the Phantom did that. What's the girl's name? What's the lady's name? Female. Come here, honey. They're gonna have to make a part 2 to the Phantom,
Yeah.
where at the end they do YMCA and have some fun and. All right. Well, you enjoying yourself today, folks? You're still here? Okay. All right. Well, before we have Marco close off, I want to tell just a couple announcements here. So, the Yamaha Genos has been a phenomenal product for us to offer. We started introducing these a year ago, and I don't remember the exact number, but I think the last time I looked last year, we sold quite a few of them. And it's been back and forth on back order, not on back order. I just been communicating with Yamaha in the last couple days, and I said, how long will it take if I order this many. And they sent me back. I can get Genos 2s right away, but the stands and speakers, there's a little delay, and so it kind of goes up and down, what have you. So we kind of made an arrangement and a very special deal. And what I wanted to do, first order of business as the new owner of Fletcher Music, so I got together with Marco, and this is, what I'm going to show you is not the full kit caboodle, but the Fletcher edition, Genos 2, if I pick the right one here, I think this is it. The Platinum package, which basically includes, obviously, the basic. Everything you see below is what we offer in the Fletcher edition. Okay? So all these custom updates with additional styles and setups and song setups, all those registrations that I showed you that were created, these registrations are created by Marco. Marco's classroom content, plus there's some additional setups in here that I've loaded now. And then there, of course, there is the bonus package. So it's been a huge success. And it comes with the support. So from time to time, Marco or myself will teach actual class on this product, on how to use it, how to use the features. We are up to, Steve, how many videos are we up to now? You know the answer to this.
22's on your playlist, but I thought there should be a couple more.
There is. I still haven't uploaded the last one yet. But there's at least 22 classes or content. Some is a couple demonstrations in there, but a lot of the classes that we taught on different features, and they're all currently available on our YouTube channel, and they're all numbered. And if you click on it and you look in the description, it'll kind of tell you what was taught in that class. So there's hours and hours, and each class is typically 45 minutes, an hour or more. So there's at least 24 hours worth of content there. There's a lot of stuff there that we're teaching on this. So you're going to get the support wherever you need it. The other cool thing is we refer to the playlist, and what we have, I don't know who did it. One of you guys did this. We have the song setups. We have them in alphabetical order here, and I provide this for everyone who purchases a Genos 2, and it shows every song title in alphabetical order, and it tells you three things: the name of the song. So if you wanted to find the song "My Girl," I would just go to the M's, or if I want to "In the Mood" or "All Night Long," you can see all of me. It tells you the style that it chooses, so if you want to just choose the style, but if you want to go and find that song setup, you go to the playlist, and if you choose it there, it'll give you 6, 8, 7 setups for every song. So you're going to be loaded with support. It is a phenomenal product. To me, it's one of those products that if you have an instrument, have another one side by side. If you go in my music room, you'll see I've got a Genos keyboard, I got 2 older keyboards, I got a Yamaha digital piano from way back, I've got 2 guitars hanging on the wall, and I got 4 guitars on guitar stands. And my fiance keeps asking me, why do you need all those? And I say, I don't know, I like them all. So that's my music room. And Marco, if you ask Marco.
Yeah, don't ask me.
Don't ask Marco. There's always room for something else in the house, right? So it's a wonderful product. And for these 10 that we're ordering and offering, our pricing is we're gonna have a special pricing on those. We have a couple of students that took advantage of them recently, so they're in that order. So get with your personal assistant. You can call me if you're not sure who that is, or email me or text me. Get in line quickly for those 10 and some of the special incentives that we're offering on those, plus the additional things that Marco's putting on there that you did not see in that list. So it's a phenomenal product. So we'll close off the show here. Marco's got a great finale that he's going to highlight and showcase for you. So take it away, Mr. Marco Mendez, everybody.
Yeah, before I play the last song, I want to share with you something that's really important in life. And all of us, I was joking with a lot of people recently, and people are saying, oh, I'm in my 80s, I'll be 90 this year. And I'd like to let you know that you and me and Robert, we're all on the same boat. you just happen to be closer to the exit door before. Well, that's not even promised. But what I found out over my lifetime, and it's a reflection of my children, and maybe if you haven't had a chance to, you still have an opportunity to leave something behind, your legacy, and that is the gift of music. And I did it with my own kids, and my son today makes a living playing music in many venues. He travels quite often. He was just in New York uh, playing. He writes his own music. It's really very heartwarming for me. So several years ago, Yamaha put out a little movie, it's 5 minutes long, and I really need you to see this because it's very important as life comes to an end to all of us. You know, we all know that, we just don't know when. And if we knew, it would be easy, then we could prepare for that, but we don't know. So this is a movie that reflects three different generations. A grandfather that starts with music, that passes it with his son, and then his son have a child and a little girl, and that girl becomes a super famous musician. And this is real life, guys. This is real life, as real as it gets. So hopefully I'll do this right. Let me share my screen. And if you want to see it on YouTube, it's called The Gift. And nearly 10 years ago, Yamaha put this out. It's quite impressive. So sit back and enjoy the gift of music. Here we go. Here we go.
Do you want to
You're muted, Mike, Marco.
So hopefully you enjoy that amazing, amazing clip from Yamaha. So here's Elmer Bernstein. And Robert, I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but I decided to anyway. It's called the Magnificent Seven. Here we go.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Thank you.
That was me, by the way. Well, I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I know a lot of you own one of these marvelous instruments, so thank you so much. I know a lot of you have made purchases with Fletcher Music Centers. Thank you very much. And I also want to thank you in advance for those who haven't purchased one yet. That's going to today. All right, so thank you, and let's give you could unmute yourself. Big round of applause to Marco Mendes for helping us really to put this marvelous package together. Marco, thank you so much. This edition is called the Fletcher edition, but it really should be called the Fletcher Marco edition. So thank you, because there are so many wonderful musical things in this that's so wonderful for the hobby players. Okay, thank you so much once again for all. I hope you enjoyed today's event. If you have any questions, you could reach out to me, text me, call me, email me, or contact your personal assistant. And we'll see you online soon. We'll have another class coming up pretty soon on this marvelous instrument. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good job.
Robert, I'll call you tomorrow when it arrives.
Okay.